Hello, Ms. Buchanan's Algebra 1A, looking at this assignment, converting standard to slope-intercept, and that is due, I think, on Thursday. Today is Tuesday, the 6th of April. Let me take a look at this. I've done the first step on all of these. I want to show you actively how to do the next steps. So I'm trying to get y by itself. Remember, slope-intercept form is where it looks like this: y equals, and then you have some number in front of x, or just x by itself, whatever, plus or minus b, some number back here. There may or may not be a number back there because maybe it's 0 and it goes through the origin of the graph, but it should look like this with y by itself is what I'm getting at here. So we need y by itself, so I'm subtracting the x from this side to get rid of it. So I subtract x from this side. What you do to one side of the equation, you always have to do the other, remember. So in doing that, I subtract x from both sides, and I'm left with 2y equals negative x minus 14. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So divide everything by 2, okay? So these cancel out, and I have, this is going to be negative, I had 1x, so negative 1 over 2x minus 14 divided by 2 is 7. And that's my final answer. For number 3, I want to get the y by itself, so I subtract x from both sides. I end up with 8y equals negative x minus 32. And then I'm going to divide everything by 8, and I could either think of it this way or, this way as I did up here, but, you're doing it to both of these parts, both of these terms of this side of the equation. So 8 divided by 8 gives me that 1y, and then this is going to be negative 1 over 8x minus 32 divided by 8 is going to be 4. For number 5, I got to subtract 10x from both sides. I subtract 10x from both sides. Look, y is by itself. And that's as far as I need to go with that one. For number 7, this is what's called undefined. When you don't have a y there and it's just x, what that means is I'm going to go to the x-axis and I'm going to go to negative 2. So negative 2 would be right here. And I'm going to draw a vertical line so that no matter where y is, x is always going to be negative 2. Okay? This would be negative 2, 1. This would be negative 2, 3. This would be negative. No matter what, x value is always going to be negative 2. This is going to be a vertical line, and it's going to be referred to as undefined. That's opposed to, like, say you had, and I'll do this one in red, because you're going to see this too. Sometimes you're going to see something like this. What if it said y equals negative 2? That's going to be a no slope, and it's going to be horizontal. Horizontal line. And negative 2 would be down here, and where y is always going to be, no matter what x is, like x1, y is going to be negative 2. x2, y is going to be negative 2. No matter what, y is negative 2. That's what no slope or zero slope, that's what that looks like, okay? And it's still considered slope-intercept form, but it's just going to be either a vertical line or a horizontal line when you have just x equals or when y equals, just so you know. All right, moving on. With this one, I'm got to get y by itself, so I subtract 3x from both sides, and I'm left with negative y. I don't want to know what negative y is, so if I change the sign on this side of the equation, that means I have to change the signs on this side of the equation. And then I'm done. Remember, what you do to one side of the equation, you do the other, just like up here. I had to subtract 3x from this side, so I subtract 3x from that side. If I change the sign of the If I change the sign on this side of the equation, I have to change the signs on that side of the equation. And I'm done. Y is all by itself. Okay, this one, I had to subtract 13x from both sides. And then now I'm going to divide by -7 to get y by itself. Divide both of these by -7. I get y equals -13 over -7x. And this is going to be -5. 35 divided by -7 gives me -5. I have a negative over a negative, so I'm just going to go one more step. Two negatives make a positive. So it's just going to be 13/7 x minus 5. Okay, this one I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides. When I do that, I'm done. I got y by itself. It's not a negative y, it's a positive y. It's all done. Nothing else is with the y. Easy one for number 13. Number 15, easy one also. I subtract 3x from both sides, and I'm done. I'm left with y equals -3x minus 6. You might wonder why I list the x first, because remember, slope-intercept form, it's y equals something with the x plus just the regular old number in the back. So I just put the regular old number in the back, okay? That's your y-intercept. All right, good luck with the even ones. At least get the ones done that I did with you. And, you know, if you make mistakes on that one, no big deal. Learn from your mistakes and you're moving on.